Okay, so basically, what goes on is that people in general, this is a common thing with human beings, okay, that human beings have, is that people in general have a desire to want everybody to stay the same. And the reason why we want people to stay the same is so that our world can make sense. Your friends are like this too. Like if you improve yourself, your friends will be like, what's this fucking shit you're studying? I even did that. I remember my old buddy, he was studying Anthony Robbins, and I think Tony's fucking badass. But I remember in my early 20s, I saw someone studying that, I'm like, you studying? You're like, Tony Robbins? A very important thing in life is trying the best you can to see reality, not through the illusion that you wish that it was, but for what it actually is. You're sort of, you know, as you're going out and you're taking a lot of action because you're getting a lot of feedback from the external world and you're seeing a lot of different things, there's gonna be a lot of things that you don't want to see. You don't want to see that. But you begin to see it, and what you realize is that the world is not that bad, okay? Actually, it's really fucking cool. The problem is you don't believe that you can change. You don't think that you could be a part of that. You want to try to see reality as accurately as possible, as you know, as best as you can. So over the decade that I did this, there was a lot of very difficult beliefs that I had about human beings, about attraction, about the nature of human relationships in general, about the nature of yourself and of the world that slowly began to unravel for me. And it caused like a lot of sleepless nights. You got to point the finger at yourself, but it's hard to do that. That's very, very hard to do, okay? So the same sort of thing was the case for me when I saw people who were successful in life. For example, people who made a lot of money. So where I came from, if somebody made a lot of money, they're lucky, cheaters, criminal, yeah, basically luck, got from the parents, they lucked out, or they're cheating the system, or they're dicks, or they're just fucking dicks. Now again, why is it easier to believe that? Because by choosing to believe that, you get to maintain that like confidence preservation mechanism. It's like you still get to be confident about your life choices because you can find a way through mental gymnastics to look down on that person, okay? Now, you know, since I've been running a business for over a decade, I've met many, many, many of the top entrepreneurs you would ever meet. You know, people whose products you guys are wearing right now or have in your house. And usually when I meet them, it's quite surprising to find out they're not like these big fucking dicks. And they didn't cheat the system, although maybe they were aggressive in businesses somewhere, there bent some rules, I don't know. I mean, probably gotta bend some rules here or there. But the point being, they didn't cheat the system. They probably work really fucking hard. The general view that I found of most guys that have a lot of money is they're in what's called abundance. They already know how to make money because they've established the work ethic, the confidence, they understand how business works. They could go build another business in 2 seconds. If they could just snap their finger and have their whole financial fortune wiped away to make everybody else in the world properly thinking people who knew how to be self-sufficient, they would do it because they have that sense of abundance that they could rebuild it. Most successful people have been on the brink of failure so many fucking times and been through so much turmoil to get to that point. They're just like, wow, I'm really lucky to be here. You never know how long this could last. You know, this is just fucking great. I'm fucking wow. You know, that's what most people like. But again, most people, they don't want to see that because they don't want to question their own beliefs. Okay, so your mind is going to choose a vehicle of beliefs, and that comes from what I call brain and lane. So all beliefs are a vehicle, okay? So literally, it's like a caterpillar or a butterfly. It's the belief system that you have is simply a vehicle that gets you from point A to point B, and then eventually, if you're smart about it, you can change vehicles to get from point B to point C, and then you change vehicles to get from point C to point D. I believe that our mind actually auto-detects how intelligent we are and how much vagueness, ambiguity, complexity, case-by-case basis, gray area, paradox that we can cope with. If your brain detects that you have the mental strength to do things like seek first to understand, then to be understood, or that your brain has the mental strength to work really hard, or your brain has the mental strength to cope with setback, because most people, what happens when most people get a setback? They freak the fuck out and they give up, right? They freak the fuck out. They get a setback, they freak out. How many setbacks do you think that I've had to get to where I'm at with RSD? What would you guess? Many of them are public. They're quite public, okay? And the ones that are not even public are probably a lot worse too. So I've had to deal with setback, but again, you have to have the mental strength to do it, right? I didn't cultivate that overnight by any means. I still work on it now. You can evolve in whatever way you want. But make no mistake, you're always changing and you're always evolving. You can create a life of your own design. It's the most incredible fucking thing.